and welcome to the Drive to Draw podcast. Happy 25 to everybody. We did sort of hold off on having an episode last week because no matches had really been played to that point. So we thought that we'd come back bigger and better for 2025 this week. Welcome along, Phil.
Thanks, Pete. Yeah, bigger and better. Too much turkey, ham, all of that.
Exactly right. Mate, how was your Christmas break? Did you get any bowls in particular? But other than that,
played a New Year's Day at Torrensville.
Beautiful.
And had a win there. We won the day, so it was good. So that was my real only rollover Christmas, New Year. I had some sick 3 out of the 4 grandkids in hospital with pneumonia.
Oh, my God.
That kept us busy over Christmas.
Absolutely. So you didn't have too much time to think about bowls.
No. So
totally understandable. Everyone's all right now?
Everyone's well. Touch wood.
All right, mate. It's been a frenetic start to the new year. Let's get into Around the Greens.
Yep.
Around the Greens.
All right, mate. Tonight we're going to cover, obviously, the Premier League, the Division 1. We're going to have a look at a couple of the state events. The under-18s has just sort of wrapped up part of their event today, so we can give you some winners there, but also the singles, I believe, are tomorrow and Friday. So really looking forward to that. All right, let's get started with the Premier League, all back and firing as of last weekend. It was an interesting weekend.
Funny round, wasn't it?
It was.
You probably Grange and Adelaide, the first game, it could have gone either way, but it certainly didn't. No Rudy. No Grange.
No Grange. It seems a little bit that way. I don't know whether that was a last-minute out.
Yeah, not sure.
I didn't see the teams initially published, but then obviously had a bit of a look at it. And, you're right. It was a little bit of a strange result.
Yeah, I mean, 128 Adelaide, Grange 51. I mean, that's a spanking.
Yep.
Scotty Thorburn having a day out, 41 to Scott Shepley, 8. So a big win there for Scotty.
Well, there were some big scores all across.
There was. That
some
was
of these ranks,
biggest of, Yep. So, So, I mean, that's knocked Grange back with a pack, and it sort of, put them
There's
in there.
There's that little bit of separation now between the top 3 and then probably the next 3. And we did talk about this off air, and we'll talk about it a little more as we go along here. Lockley's getting their first win of the season against Club Holdfast.
Oh, Holdy's going to have to watch out there. Sort of sitting in that relegation zone at the moment. 81 to Lockley's 82. So good on Lockley's. Unfortunately for Steve Jones, he still had the biggest loss of the day over Nathan Peter Wise, 25 to Steve Jones 16. So good to see Lockley's getting a win. It's always...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Holdfast obviously flying in a couple of players there. Didn't quite work the way they would have liked. But I believe they might be available for this week's match, which we'll talk about in a minute on Friday night there. But good to see Lockley's get their first win of the season.
Absolutely.
It's always tough coming back after a bit of a break. You don't know who's been doing what and whether, you're right, you had too much Christmas turkey and ham and enjoyed the festivities. But well done to Lockley.
Absolutely.
All right.
Another one I would say is upset, Pete.
I think it was a little bit of a surprise. I thought it'd be a little
Hawthorn would have been upset.
Yes, I thought it would have been a little closer than this.
So Hawthorn 70 to Modbury 84. Lockie Bowman copped the biggest loss for the day, 16 over, and Dory 24. So it wasn't 8 shots. So it's not nothing to...
No, but unusual for Lockie. He's been in pretty good form. But coming up against Dory, we all know what he's capable of.
Exactly
and we'll get a bit of a look at him this weekend as well. So it should be fun.
And Somerton, 71 over your mob now, Ascot
Park, 91.
91.
Tough day out for all involved. Green was a little bit tricky at times, a little bit tricky. We spoke with the Somerton guys, obviously during the game and after the game, having a few drinks and, what's happening down there. Greens just haven't quite come up the way that they'd like at the moment, so it was a little bit patchy. That's exactly right. So it was just a matter of who got the better of the conditions, and on this occasion, across the rink.
Yep. And how'd you go yourself?
I bowled pretty well. Like I was saying off air, we basically had 2 5s and a 4 out of a 24-22 victory. So we felt like we were in control most of the day. We just got outplayed on a couple of ends that sort of let them back in the door a little bit. But other than that, rolling pretty well at the moment, mate.
So it was Josh Studham 14 and my old mate Mitch Percy 27s.
And Mitch played some big bowls,
He can
absolutely beauties.
Gun bowler.
Yep.
The last game, Pete, was Westlake's, which, again, I find this a bit of a surprise, especially the amount of shots.
Yes.
Westlake's 109, Salisbury 58. And Isaac Trenorden getting the chocolates here, 35 over my old mate Brent Marshall, 13.
Yep.
So
And we've got to get Brent on the show. He did provide, obviously, a list at the beginning of the season as to what Salisbury's up to. I think Salisbury have done pretty well. We might get him on the show to have a bit of a talk about that.
Yeah, wouldn't want to get Sorey on.
No,
I wouldn't get him off.
No, that's fair enough. But yeah, I'm surprised, like you, that Westlake's were up that much. I like Westlake's back end at the moment.
So do I.
think
we set off there, and I agree.
A little bit better settled. I think that works a bit better for them.
Yep, you throw the Flavel boys in there in the threes, and whether that's three or skipping or whatever.
Yep.
And, I mean, they got some good skips there. So
absolutely. And like we've sort of said a little bit earlier, back end decides by how much you win, front end decides if you win. So if Westlakes can sort of put a couple together at this start of the second half of the season, as we've talked about there, they might be a chance to sneak in the four.
Who knows?
Exactly
Who knows?
right. All right,
I know you've tipped them.
Well, let's look at the ladder here.
The ladder.
Yeah,
we got Summerton 10-1. Ascot right up behind them now, 8-3.
Yep.
Adelaide 7-4. Then you got Hawthorn and Grange, both 6-5.
Yep.
So
now here was my prediction that Westlake's 5-6.
Yes.
They're only 5 points behind Grange and also Hawthorn.
Yep.
With a shot difference of 46, whereas Hawthorn only has a shot difference of 38, and Grange at minus 37.
Wow.
Obviously, took a bit of a hit.
Yeah.
A hit last weekend. If Westlakes can get their back end right, they might be the sneaky chance to actually sneak in the four.
I reckon it's going to stay the same. I reckon Hawthorn will just sneak in, but I have been wrong before.
No, and I sort of said that Hawthorn would be around that 4th, 5th area anyway, and I think if a couple of results go their way, that could certainly stay, like you said, the status quo can stay the same, but I think as a bit of an outsider, Westlakes could be the team to watch in this second half of the season. All right, mate, we better move on to this week's games.
Round 12.
Yep.
We got Adelaide versus Holdy.
Now, this one's on Friday night for all you punters out there. It will be live streamed via Spacequake Sports, which means it'll either be on Facebook or YouTube. So if you're at your club on a Friday night, having a practice, having a drink afterwards, get the club to put it on the big screen there and sit back and watch some good bowls. Or alternatively, if you're near Adelaide, drop in. I'm sure they'd absolutely love to see a bit of a crowd there, sort of watching what's going on.
Not guaranteed a car park.
Not guaranteed a car park, but who knows on a Friday night. Adelaide v Holdfast, I'm going to go Adelaide.
Adelaide for me.
Yep. Salisbury v Somerton.
Somerton for me.
Somerton for me.
Lockleys v West Lakes.
I think West Lakes.
I tip West Lakes as well.
Yep.
Modbury and Ascot.
I'm going to go Ascot.
I'm going Ascot.
Yep.
And the last one is Hawthorn versus Grange.
And I've sort of got this one as our match of the round.
I reckon it would be.
It's important for both, but I'm going to tip Hawthorn.
Hawthorn for me.
Yep.
Yep.
Really looking forward to those matches. Again, just a reminder, the Adelaide v Holdfast is on Friday night starting at 6 p.m. at Adelaide, and the remaining games are obviously played on Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. So if you're near your local club or if you're not having a game this weekend, head down there and watch some very, very good quality bowls, especially in the Premier League. Mate, we better move on to Div 1.
Div 1, round 11. Some funny results here too, Pete.
Yep.
Modbury 60 versus Somerton 81. Patrick McGuinness 15. Neville Weckett 24 was the biggest winning rink there.
Yep.
Henley 72 versus Port Noarlunga, who are going along quite nicely, 94. We had Terry Stringer 11 and Maxi Kleinig. We've mentioned his name a few times this year, 23, yes. So it's a big win to Maxi.
Absolutely.
Turak, who are struggling yet with a win, 68. To Millswood again, another club coming up and really going well in the top 4, 90. Feasty copping another one. You must have played him into some terrible form when he took you apart.
I felt like we played him into form and then all of a sudden he's disappeared.
He's fallen out.
He could have done that week that we played him.
Yeah, Feasty 14 and Eno Rossi 27.
Yep.
Woodville. So it was, nearer the bottom, third to bottom, I think they are, 73 versus top side undefeated Marion, 89. So it wasn't too bad a score there for the Woodville boys.
Yep.
Mark Hanrahan, 11, and Brady Slater, 25. Sorry, Pete.
No, that's right. I think the home ground advantage there might have just helped Woodville a little bit. But after speaking to a few of the boys today on Wednesday, we played against them. They're actually enjoying playing away this year rather than home.
Oh, so really?
It happens.
Wow.
They just find that the greens or the grass is just running that little bit more truer than what's happening at home there at the moment. But they'll work that out. And, it was interesting that they probably got pretty close to Marion, who really are the pace setters in the benchmark. Yep.
Yeah. And the last game was Paynham 66 versus Tranmere 85. So that was at home to Paynham. So they've lost one at home, and it's not always good. But Alan Hurst 12, Graham Young 24. So Youngie getting the chocolates over Hursty. So
yes.
And that was the last game of that round. We'll go through the table, Pete.
Absolutely. Well, just to go back on the Premier League table, we've now got every team having a win and every team having a loss. Unfortunately, in the Division 1, we haven't got that yet. Marion, 11-0.
11-0. Port Noarlunga going along nicely, as we said, 9-2. Millswood, 8-3. And then Somerton, 7-3. I think that's it. I think that's going to be the four, Pete. I don't think it's going to change.
I can't give you any smoky there that could potentially jump up.
I really thought Tranmere may have.
Yes.
They got Woodville at home this week, so... I mean, they're probably the only one I can see coming in, but...
they're going to need maximum points.
Yeah.
And Somerton or Millswood to drop maximum points to give them a chance. I can't see it either.
No, neither can I.
All right, we better move on to round number 12.
So, as I said, Tranmere versus Woodville. Pete?
I'm going to go Tranmere.
Tranmere for me. Port Noarlunga versus Paynham down at the Port Noarlunga.
I have to go Port Noarlunga.
Port Noarlunga by plenty, I think, down there.
Yep. I'll be interested to see if Ozzy Cunningham plays.
Yeah.
Ozzy did play last week.
Yeah, I see that. He's played a couple games now, and he skipped this last week. So, Somerton versus Henley.
Somerton for me.
Somerton for me. Millswood and Marion, match of the round.
This is our match of the round. I can't go past Marion.
I can't either. I'd like to tip Millswood at home.
But it is going to be a close game.
I think it will.
Yep. I think it'll be within 15 shots. I think that's probably painting a very wide target there. There's 15 shots, but I reckon Marion have won on average by around about 15 to 20 shots all year. So if they can get it to 10, I'll be really, really impressed with Millswood.
Yep. And the last game, the winless Toorak versus Modbury at Toorak.
And that there is getting close to a bottom of the table clash, but I think Modbury get up there.
I think Modbury too. Yep. Modbury for me. Hey.
All right, mate. Let's move on and take some hot shots.
I reckon on the tee, so
Jaden, don't mind us.
Or do
just
that.
peel it out and draw the second.
Mav just does Mav things.
Van Denton not too far away here. What an awesome bowl by the Blazers skipper.
Jack Trelawney.
If he can get the jack.
He likes it.
What a great shot from Jack from the Knights. 2 down to 1 up. You see Jose Gill not far away at all. If he gets no jack move, he's going to go 2 up. Great shot from Jose Gill, skipping the Pirate.
All right, mate, we move on to everybody's favourite time of the episode. It is Around the Regions, and we have a look at the Barossa Light League as per usual. They did things a little bit different. They've played 2 rounds since...
they have played 2 rounds.
Yeah, because obviously trying to fit the Country Carnival in.
Yes.
We do have a special guest. We're hoping to get a special guest on next week about the Country Carnival. We'll leave that to the listeners to guess, but... I'm assuming that's why they've played the extra
It's
round.
going to be a long show next week.
It will be a
isn't
long
it?
show, yep. So be prepared. All right, mate, let's move on to Around the Grounds. What's been
Okay.
around the regions? What's been happening in the Barossa and Light?
Okay, the Barossa. So we went to round 14, obviously not this week, the week before.
Yes.
They started a week before us. Yadunda, 98 versus Freeling, who have struggled a bit. Kim Schutz, 30 to Ian Young, 12.
Yep.
Did I say the scores? I don't know whether I did. Yadunda, 98, Freeling, 54. Yep. Sorry, Pete.
No, you're right. Oh, good.
Might have to cut that bit out.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go to the next game. Close game here. Anguston 85 versus Kapunda 76. David Jornay over Cat Green 24-14. So good win to David. A quality bowler up there. Tanunda 69 versus Lindok 92. My old teammate from last year, Brad Peck, 16 against Darren Green 28. So Darren getting over Bradley.
Yep, some good results there.
Yep. And the last game for that round 14 was Mount Pleasant 65 to Newry, who are on some sort of a roll, 91.
Yes.
Chad Vivian 9 to Jeff the Guru Langley 33. So a big win there for Jeff Langley. Round 15, Pete.
Yes.
We'll go straight into that. Mount Pleasant copping another hiding, unfortunately for them.
Yes.
Mount Pleasant 66 versus Tanunda 103 on Mount Pleasant's home ground. And my old neighbour Brendan Tahini 16 copped a bit of a hiding from Tim Leish 36. So Brendan will be, Anyway, we'll move on from that.
Yes. Some of those results you don't want to hear, you don't want to know.
You don't want to hear your name on the podcast.
No.
Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Freeling, unfortunately, copping a hiding from Newry. Freeling 53 versus Newry 101. And Daniela Madalinsky, 7 to the great man.
Oh, the mayor.
Stuart Mayor Forbes, 29.
There you
So
go.
must have been on fire, Stewie. And here we go to Anguston, 91, who the second half of this season really have picked up their game. 91 to Yadunda, 71, and Yadunda just dropping off a bit. Again, David Jornay, 22 over Chris Jones, this time 11.
Yep.
So another good win to David. And the last game was a bit of an upset here, Pete.
Yep.
Well, you might have tipped them at home under the
I think I did, under the hanger.
hanger.
Yes.
Kapunda 82, Lindock 77. Yep. Sean Knight 14 over Harry Sykes. Is having a fantastic, well, not only him, his rink, and Harry Sykes 25. So a big win there to Harry's rink.
Now, have you got a ladder for me, mate?
I have a ladder right in front
I
of me.
love it when you got a ladder.
Yep. So we got Newry sitting on top. The mayor would be happy.
Yes.
11-4, but they're only equal with Anguston 11-4, who've really picked their game up.
Yep. Yeah, because they dropped a couple of games.
Yes,
in
they
the
were
middle
out the
there.
four there
that
for
was
a while.
like,
Yep.
what's going on?
Yep.
But they've got it all together.
Yeah, we thought it was all over for them, but they're back well and truly in the hunt.
Yep.
Lindock 10-5. They've just dropped a couple games now. Lindock. Kapunda coming up now 9-6. Yadunda dropping off a bit 7-7 and a draw.
Yep.
And then Tanunda 8-7. So Yadunda just got them on the points there. So
We're on round 13, is that right?
no, we go to round 16
round
this week.
16. Jeez,
They
I'm
play
a
21 rounds, Pete.
Right.
This is as well while they're trying to get ahead.
Yep.
So they've got 20 extra 3 rounds than we do down here.
Wow. Jeez,
Yeah.
I don't know. Would you like an extra 3
No.
rounds down here? No, there you
That's
go.
plenty.
Let's throw it out to the listeners there. Do we want more rounds? Probably
No.
not. I think we're all screaming out for same amount of rounds, but a little
Yeah.
less time. So
Yeah, I
maybe a
just
couple
don't want
double
it.
headers.
I hate it going into the footy season. I
Yeah.
think it sort of mucks everything
Yep.
up. But
Would-
anyway,
Would you be for double headers if we had double
yeah,
headers?
why not?
A couple of Sundays thrown
Yep,
in there, Saturday,
yep.
Sunday, just to get through them
Doesn't
a little bit
affect
quicker.
my work.
No, Yeah, half your luck.
Yeah. Okay.
All right,
so
let's-
round 16 here, Pete. We've got Yadunda versus Kapunda. At Yadunda,
Kapunda for me.
Kapunda for me. Tanunda versus Freeling. At Tanunda,
Tanunda for me.
Tanunda for me. Lindock versus Mount Pleasant.
Lindock for me.
Lindock for me. And, this is a good game, match of the round. Anguston and Newry in the vineyards of Anguston.
Ooh, well, I can guarantee the wine will be flowing. That's probably one guarantee. I might go Newry in an upset.
Oh, yeah? I'm going Anguston at
Okay.
home. Yep, Anguston at home. It can be quite tricky. I haven't bowled there, but I believe it's quite tricky with the wind it's pretty open
Yep.
there. And
What if it's going to be, say, 31, 32 degrees? No, not too much wind around.
Oh, I might tip Newry.
I'll go
No, I'll
Newry
go
on that one. You
Angaston.
go Angaston. No.
Okay, look, I just got a little bit of a
Yep.
hot gossip handed to me, and
Love
I'm going to mention a name here.
Bring it on.
Yep. I believe Newry have signed somebody during the week, Ashley Schultz, who was an ex-skip back in my day when I was up there.
Yep.
And a couple club championships under his belt. Real quality bowler.
Absolutely.
I believe they have signed him to play in the next week or two.
Right, so waiting on a transfer to come through.
No, he's a Newry player, but just signed him up to come back and play. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yep.
That changes, I think, the landscape a little bit for Newry if that is the case.
Oh, he's quality bowler, I tell you.
Yep.
Good bloke to go with it. Quickly, they played some association matches on Sunday.
I did see some of those, yep.
The Trengove Cup went to the Barossa Light. They had a win, so congratulations to Barossa Light.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about all I've got on the Barossa.
Well, we might see if we can get
Bowls.
somebody on to talk about that. And obviously, part of that, I think, forms, from what I'm understanding, forming for the Country Carnival and,
Yep.
and bits and pieces like
yeah,
almost
round
like a,
robin and all that
yeah,
sort of stuff.
Sort
they
of
pick
makes
out of that.
a little
yeah,
bit of a practice
yep.
round for it.
I believe
I think
so.
that's a wonderful event. A tradition, I suppose. That's
Yep.
probably the word I'm looking for. Tradition that they're able to keep that going and
Yeah, absolutely.
and have those events that are still pride and place in the
Yep.
country, which is fantastic. So, well done to all involved there. All right, let's take a very, very quick break, mate.
Liking this podcast? Please like, rate, and subscribe.
All right, mate, we move on with the state events. Jump the gun there, mate. First one for the new year. I'm already off to a great start, but that's all right. We'll leave the unedited bits in. But let's get off onto the state events. We've got the state singles, obviously. Nominations, I believe, are opening. They're probably closing the next week or two. I haven't fully checked that, but I know that Bowls SA were putting out information about it just before Christmas, so I would assume that being the case. But the state pairs is drawn. There are venues that have been allocated for this weekend, and across the men's and the women's, it'll be played at Holdfast, Beaumont, Salisbury, Modbury, and Brighton. So best of luck to the teams that are playing there. I'm actually playing with Benny McDonald.
Benny,
in the pairs, and we're at Holdfast on Sunday. So it's
better
going to
have
be
strong shoulders for you.
36. He's already told me that. He goes, he had a shocker on Saturday. He said, I hope you're playing well. I said, I'm playing okay, but should be a lot of fun. It's going to be quite a warm day. Sunday, 36.
Yes, I think it is,
forecasting. So 3 games of 2-2-2 pairs. 2-2-2 pairs. It's going to be a long day. So
they are long days.
Exactly right. We move on. Obviously, the state under-18s was played, obviously, during this holiday period. This week, I believe at Lockley's.
Lockley's it was.
And the state triples open was won today by Liam Coe, Charlie Hicks. I always get Charlie and Corey mixed up, but no, it was Charlie and Kobe Jarman.
That's right.
So congratulations to those guys there taking out the gold medal. I believe that the gold medal in the singles and the pairs will be played for the boys and the girls.
Yep.
Will be played this Thursday and Friday, depending on where the draw falls. So best of luck to the juniors there. And we've got some talented juniors going around. I did see some posts from Cat Green.
Yeah, a couple green boys there.
Exactly right, taking each other on in the pairs, which was it would have been an interesting ride home and a ride there. We might get Cat on to sort of explain how that came about. So, no, well done to all the juniors involved there. All right, let's move on to some tipping. All right, there's not too much to report on the tipping other than a reminder that if you are tipping, make sure that you get your teams tipped by 5 p.m. Friday night, because 6 p.m. Friday night is obviously that game between Adelaide and Holdfast. Keeping in mind for the next 5 weeks, we've got the following Friday, Somerton v Lockley's. We'll obviously talk about that one there. Modbury v Salisbury out at Modbury. We might see if we can get up there and do a live broadcast on that Friday night. Yeah, we'll see how we go.
Interviews,
yeah, which should be fantastic. Westlakes v Grange at the Westlakes Bowling Club and Hawthorn v Ascot at the Hawthorn Bowling Club coming up. So just be aware if you are tipping that you get your tips in obviously on the Friday during the day. If you don't, I believe you get automatically the away side. So it could work for you.
Well, if you're listening to this show, just follow our tips.
I don't know about that at the moment. I think, especially because we did the round, 12 games before, or around 11 games before Christmas.
Yeah,
we were way off the mark.
Were we? Okay.
Especially with a few upsets there. All right, let's move on to some extra ends, mate. As mentioned, we don't have a guest tonight, only because it's the first night back, and we're just trying to get ourselves organised as far as players being available, and there were a lot more matches that we sort of had to cover this week. But in the extra ends tonight, let's talk about some tournaments.
Some tournaments, Pete, coming up on Australia Day. We've got Modbury and Beaumont Bowling Club.
On Saturday the 25th?
Yep, on Saturday the 25th. And then we've got Toorak, Millswood, Kadina, Borough, Millicent on the 26th.
And you had another one that was there,
I'm off to Harndorf. So, so that's just another one. I did look up a couple others. Christie's Beach Fours on did I say that one? On the on 25th. Wollonga 27th. Semaphore the 10th of February. Clare, we're going back into March now, playing that one, 28th to the 31st of March. There's one on in Kangaroo Island, the 23rd to the 27th of March. And then I did say the Harndorf one. And then we've got a Lindop one, which I'll be playing in with a couple of mates from up at Lindop.
Yes.
The Dave Heusler Day, which is the 16th of February at Lindop Bowling Club.
Absolutely
so that was just a couple of extras I'll throw in there.
We might keep that list handy, mate, to reiterate those over the next couple of weeks. For
no
sure
worries.
There. Obviously, the Australia Day long weekend, there are no bowls obviously played on that Saturday. So if you are looking for a game, Modbury, Beaumont, and there was a couple of others there on the
Modbury,
Saturday.
Beaumont, and then there's Harndorf. Yep. And then you got Toorak.
Will you be stopping at the German Arms there for a well, it's not a pint, it's a stein, isn't it?
Yes.
Make sure you grab one of the big ones.
Me.
Fair enough. All right, let's move on to the BPL Cup. Obviously, venues are still sort of being sorted out, but we'll promote again that Moonta are playing on March the 10th. I believe that's a Monday at 10 a.m.
Yes.
And Torrensville, the 25th of May, for a 9:30 start. Now, whether that's in the old Torrensville, the new Torrensville, this is something that we've just got to chase up.
I think the new is still a little way away. But I mean, that's in May, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, good point.
So we'll keep touch on that as to the actual location, but it will definitely be at the Torrensville Bowling Club. If there are any others that have come through in the meantime, we'll make sure that we give them a bit of a shout out. All right, let's talk national events. We've got the Burnside Invitational Pairs in New Zealand. Will be represented by 4 South Australian players. There might even be 1 or 2 more in there, but these are the 4 that I have been told about or have come across my desk there. Kate Argent-Bowden, Nathan Black, Ben Bowman and Isaac Jesser from the Grange Bowling Club getting a gig this weekend.
Very good. Good luck to them.
Absolutely. Probably changes your tip for Grange a little bit for the Premier League this weekend with those 2 out. Yeah, might have been in the same boat.
That would make a difference.
Obviously, any national events coming up, we'll certainly do that. The only other one that I will mention is that we will have a representative team from South Australia going to the Cabramatta Bowls tournament in New South Wales there. Some high quality teams and players will be there, and will be represented by Club Holdfast.
Oh, okay. So you don't know the team from there?
I don't know the team from there. I might actually touch base with Damon on that one. And
grab some prawns for me off him too.
We'll do. All right, let's move on to some general questions and hot topics to finish us off. Good to see some Friday night games, mate, being televised, but could the draw have been sort of worked out a little bit better to have some of the top game matchups, a bit like what we talked about earlier with, say, Hawthorn and Grange being probably the 2 that might be, the game of the round, or Adelaide and Holdfast obviously have it. But, you know, looking at Somerton v Lockleys, you've got a team that's only won one and a team that's lost.
Top versus bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Could that have been held off, or do you think that they needed
Well, I
to
suppose it gives Lockleys a chance to, you know, step up or, you know.
Yep.
So I suppose you've got to share around and it's fair.
Absolutely. Do you think there should be more Friday night games? So
think
that
so.
way, if you know, if say this year we play, these teams are playing at home and these teams are playing away, that depending on the promotion and relegation side of things, is that the following year it's the other way around?
Yeah, absolutely.
That seems to be the general consensus going around there. So
it sounds good.
Certainly keep that in mind. But yeah, we'd like to know some hot topics as far as what you think Bowls and Bowls SA and the NBA should be implementing to try and make this game of ours greater, which would be fantastic. And my last one came up really late in the day today, which was quite interesting, that should Wednesday pennants be like Taylor's Cup, going on the rink wins, not the shots up? Because you do play at pairs, triples and fours.
Never really thought about it, Pete.
No?
I didn't read my notes before the
No,
show.
that's
so
okay. Hey,
that's
throw
a
it
good
out there.
point, though. I do like the it's not Taylor's, it's Super Challenge now.
Super Challenge, yep.
I do like that format. I played it Sunday night at Turek.
Yes.
And quite enjoy that.
Format?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, if it goes on, as I said, rink wins versus shots up, because you could have one team, and
we've done it this year.
Where one team, one group, say fours, like we did today, we got a bit beaten up a little bit, but everyone else was able to cover. But we still got the three rinks up. So
yeah, that's right. You still won overall.
Yeah, and then the shots should be based upon percentage.
We won't make that decision anyhow, will we, Pete? We can just...
It's an idea anyway.
Absolutely.
All right, mate. I did throw out on social media there, I'm not sure if you saw it, mate, about nicknames, players' nicknames on the bowling green.
Nicknames?
Yeah.
No,
have you got any nicknames that sort of might come to mind on the bowling green of players?
There's probably a couple I can't mention.
Well, I think you can, mate, because we are.
No, I can't.
We are set up for.
Actually, obviously, only just starting at Walkerville. I don't know many nicknames there, to be honest.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's interesting. We did have a list here. I have just trying to find it on my my notes, but I can't find it. But there was some good names there. We might just encourage everyone to keep that going a little bit, and then next week we'll have a bit of fun with it.
Okay, sounds
all right.
good.
I did speak to Pete Lucat during the week.
Oh, what?
He did say, keep it short, keep it sweet, keep it simple. Loving the podcast.
Okay, and we'll quickly mention, look, we've had a couple of players walk, and Pete being one, which is, his decision, it's all fair enough.
Yes.
He's gone to Edwardstown. We had Patrick Purcell go to Modbury just for a try and better himself.
Yes.
Was his excuse, and I talked to Paddy Sunday night and wished him all the best. And I see Mike Hockings moved on from Beaumont. He's gone to Brighton.
Oh.
So Mike's skipping down there now, so...
I hadn't heard that one, so that was a very recent one, because I did see Mike just before Christmas up at Modbury in.
Yeah, I saw him at Two Wells, and he seemed, I don't know, didn't seem any different than normal, and but he's moved on, so all the best to them.
Absolutely, I did find those nicknames, mate, while you were padding beautifully there for me. Joshua McDonald, they call him T-Bone.
T-Bone.
Not sure about that one, but anyway. Matt Pointer, Lindsay Patterson is Banjo.
Wow.
Joshy Studham commenting to Samuel Denton there. What about Beef Curtain? I'm sure there's something behind that. I might actually ask Sammy on Saturday about that one there. Matthew Rossi is Boots, as in Rossi Boots, which I think is a good one. Satish Unadada from McLaren Vale. That was from Ray.
Was a town.
Possibly. Here we go. Nathan Black to Tyson Wilson Mudd. There's a good one. Sandra Wallace there from Arthur Scott Azza. Or Aaron Sheriff. You'd want to play like Omo, wouldn't you? Absolutely. Ian Miller there saying the Colonel, Phil Sanders from Salisbury.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Phil, yep. No, Phil.
And I reckon as far as that, Linton Keane, Mustard.
Oh, yes, Colonel Mustard.
Colonel
Mustard.
Yep. So
In the conservatory
absolutely.
with the dagger.
There you go. Some good names there. We'll keep throwing that out there. I think that's a little bit of fun just to finish us off tonight. Mate, huge episode. I reckon we're going to have a big guest next week.
Bigger than Texas.
Has
his own postcode.
There you go. Really looking forward to that. If you haven't worked that out by now, that's who we're trying to get on next week.
Cost us a bit, won't it, to get him on?
It probably will. But yeah, we might try and do a live broadcast on the Friday night from the Modbury game.
Okay.
I might speak with Jose and the guys there on Saturday. So
Yep.
Best of luck there. We were going to cover the Wednesday and Thursday pennants. We might leave that till next week, I reckon, because we're right on time today. Mate, as per usual, we have to do better than this.
We've got to.
Thank everybody for listening. If you haven't already, like, rate, subscribe, send to your friends, send to your family. Keep sending these on to anybody that loves their bowls and might just want to hear us waffle on for a half an hour about stuff that's going on, and you might even hear your name up in lights one of these days.
Never
Who
know.
knows? Exactly right. Mate, until next week, thanks
you,
mate.
Pete.
Thank you.
Cheers.
See ya.